Sai Ram. This is Harmonium Instruction Lesson 1. Today I will discuss about the basics of harmonium so that we can learn to play Sai Bhajans. As I said, this is lesson 1. I'll introduce the basics of harmonium and music. So when we sing a bhajan, we make sound. A sound travels like a wave, like this. And the characteristic of any wave is what is called the frequency. How quickly the wave is changing. For example, if you have another sound wave that goes like this wave is going faster than this wave. So this is considered higher frequency. Okay? So that's very important to know. So when we sing a bhajan or make sound, we make waves of different frequencies. Okay? So what a harmonium does is, if we press any key, it makes a sound wave of a certain frequency. For example, if I press this key, it is making a sound wave of a particular frequency. And if I press this, it makes another frequency. If this key, it makes another frequency. And as we go to the right, the frequency increases. As we go to the left, the frequency decreases. This is very important to know. Okay? And one other point I want to make is, if the frequency keeps on increasing, you may have a case where another wave makes one complete circle within half the time it takes for the other one. So then this is considered a wave with twice the frequency. Suppose the frequency of this wave that I showed first is x. This other wave is 2x. Okay, 2 times x. And when you have these frequencies that have the same multiples of same frequency, then you get a very harmonious sound wave. For example, if you pick a key, there is another key that's exactly the same, twice the frequency, which also sounds same. So you can see that pressing both the keys, it is very harmonious sound. So if you double the frequency, as you go to the right, the frequency increases, and somewhere it starts exactly doubling. And similarly, if you go to the left, it reduces, and somewhere it exactly halves. Okay? So that you need to understand that. And another thing I want to make is, between two frequencies called x and 2x, which is double the frequency, which sounds exactly the same, you have 11 more frequencies. Okay? So 11 more. So that means there are total 12 keys with 12 frequencies, and after that they are doubling. If you go to the left, they are halving. So if you notice carefully in harmonium, there are 12 keys that are basically repeated. So if you pick, there are few white keys here, there are 2 black keys, then there is space, and there are 3 black keys, and there are, again it repeats the same thing. For example, if I pick this black key, which is one of the first of the 2, and this other one, it's exactly twice the frequency. Okay? So there are basically 12 keys that are in harmonium that are specific frequencies. After that, either you double or half the frequency. That is point number 1 that you need to remember. The point number 2 I want to make is, there is no special key. Okay? There is no special key. That means all keys are same. Whether it's a long white key or a short black key, they are all the same. Whether it's in the beginning or in the back. Except they are producing different frequency signals. That is the message. Another key message that I want to tell you, it's very important to know, is that when we sing a bhajan, the actual frequencies do not matter. What matters is the relativity. So what we do when we sing a bhajan, you pick a frequency and you call it a reference frequency. Okay? Reference frequency. And then you modulate your sound around it. For example, if I pick this key as a reference, or I pick this key as a reference. I can pick any key as a reference. Once I pick a key as a reference, let's say this frequency, I can modulate my voice around that. Or I pick another frequency and I modulate my voice around that exactly the same way. For example, assume that these waves are same. For a bhajan, they both sound the same regardless of what the reference frequency is. For example, if I pick this key as reference and press these keys, okay, whatever I pressed, if I pick this another key and press the same way, it sounds the same. So it is, any bhajan that we have is with respect to a reference frequency. So the first thing we need to know when we sing a bhajan is to know what the reference frequency is. So I want to make another point clear. Suppose I press this key and sing a bhajan, that becomes my reference frequency. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha Ganesha Sharanam. Okay, see that? That bhajan I am singing with this as my reference frequency. Similarly, if I pick this key as my reference frequency, Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, I can sing also with this reference frequency. As you can see, this key is to the right of this key, which means this is at a higher frequency than here. So it's more, it's a different, the song sounds, same song, sounds slightly higher pitch if it is to the right. If the reference frequency is to the left, it sounds lower pitch. Okay. So for any bhajan, there is a reference frequency that we need to know. Since we do not know what any other person is singing a bhajan, we need to practice every bhajan thinking any of these 12 keys could be reference frequency. Okay. This is lesson number 1. A. I'll do another lesson, lesson 1B, in which I talk about the specific ragas. Sai Ram.